Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be centered around hair growth and what I did personally to help get my hair to grow over the past, I would say, year and a half. I went through a course of having fusion extensions, and I alternated between extensions and dyeing my hair, bleaching my hair 100 different colors. I had platinum blonde hair, I had red hair, purple hair, blue hair, whatever. I'm sure everyone's gone through that phase of dyeing their hair every single color in the freaking rainbow. So I went through that phase, and then I went through it again and again and again. And then after I was done with that phase, I stuck to black and I got fusions. And then I refused to take the fusions out because I was so worried for the hair growth. I was like, my hair is never gonna grow. I'm not willing to go through this process and blah blah blah. And by the end of that, my hair was severely damaged. I'm talking, you could run your fingers to the bottom of the hair and pull on it, and all the ends would just fall off and break apart into your fingers. I was dreading my hair growth. I did not want to do it the natural way. I didn't think that there was a possible way to do it without just masking it with extensions on top of extensions. So finally I figured out a few things that worked for me. I think it was a combination of things that really did help in the long run. And I just want to give you guys some of the tips that worked for me. I'm not going to come on here and tell you this is a miracle treatment that will make your hair grow 5 inches overnight. It's not like that. This sped the process up for me. My hair doesn't like to grow. For some reason, I could not get it to grow. Even when I took my fusions out for the first year, it would not grow, no matter what I did. So I think that if this works for me, it should work way better for you, especially if your hair is the type of hair that really grows faster than the average person, or if it just grows at a normal pace. For me, it was really, really slow. So my hair was up to here, and it was just below my shoulder, if not right at my shoulder, about a year and a few months ago. And that was very hard for me because I always had 26-inch extensions, and I always liked that fully glam, done up look. So without further ado, let's just get right into the tips. The first tip that I'm gonna give you guys is, I think this is the most basic tip that a lot of people, I would say, question, and a lot of people think this is disgusting, but it's actually not. Washing your hair all the time is very damaging. Putting all those chemicals into your hair is very damaging. So I personally shower every single day. I shower my body every single day. I used to wash my hair every 2 days, and now I'm reaching for washing my hair about 1 time a week, if not max twice a week if I really can't take it. That has made a really good change. In the beginning, you're gonna find that your hair becomes very oily because your hair is used to being constantly washed, but progressively this is gonna wear off, and this is one of the things that I think really helped my hair grow. You're not sure exactly what's in your shampoos, you're not sure how much chemicals you're putting in your hair, and when you just leave it to be natural and absorb the natural oils in your hair and kind of bask in that, you're actually letting it grow much faster than it would if you wash your hair all the time. If this bothers you, put your hair in a slick back ponytail, put your hair up. There are so many alternative hairstyles that you can do instead of keeping your hair down, even with oily hair or a little bit dirty hair that still makes you look bomb as The second tip I would give you guys is to keep up with your hair trims. I have a hair phobia. I don't like cutting my hair. I absolutely despise it. Matter of fact, like I said, it's a phobia for me. I've tried out so many hairdressers to the point where I stopped going for a period of 4 or 5 years when I did have my fusions, because I just a lot of people don't understand what a trim is, or maybe my version of a trim is a lot more different than other people's version of a trim. I would just go in for a trim and they would cut a lot of my hair off, and I was just so mad every time I would leave the salon. So I finally found someone that works for me. This cuts off your dead ends, cuts off your split ends, and even if you don't want to do it all at once, progressively, if you keep evening it out and keeping up with your trims, depending on how much you damage your hair with products or how much you damage your hair with heat, this makes all the difference. I'm telling you, this helped me so much. I think honestly this would be my #1 tip. Trim your hair. As soon as I trimmed my hair, it was life-changing. and I didn't cut my hair for so long, so I mean, if I can do it, you can do it. My third tip is invest in a good brush. A lot of brushes really pull at your hair, the roots of your hair when you're brushing them, and that actually damages your hair. So if you use like a comb or invest in a very good brush, then that will also make a good difference and not pull on your hair as much. The next two tips aren't essential, but do make a difference. Investing in a silk pillowcase and getting rid of the cotton towels really does help, because you're pulling essentially, and when you rub your hair like this with a cotton towel, you're actually damaging the ends of your hair. You can either get like a towel turban, they say like you could use like a t-shirt and just kind of like dampen out your hair and get all that excess water out. And a silk pillowcase is also very, very, very helpful in terms of not damaging your hair while you sleep, because it's not rubbing against it so much. Those are the two tips that I would say are non-essential for me personally, but have also helped impart of hair growth for a lot of people around me and has improved the process for me as well. My next tip is to avoid heat as much as possible. If you can, braid your hair the night before if you want like a natural curl, or look at different methods of heatless curls. Just balance everything out. If you're gonna apply heat, give yourself a break. If you're gonna dye your hair, maintain that very little. Make sure you're getting a color that doesn't need much maintenance, or if it does need much maintenance, that you go and touch it up as late as possible and you don't keep applying all that damage to it. And when you do, you get that trim or you apply a treatment. All these things help to avoid excessive damage. I always make sure to apply oils to my hair when I come out of the shower. This that I do can range from coconut oil. I know there's very biased opinions on coconut oil, but it's always worked for me. So I mean, do whatever you're comfortable with. Whatever oil works for you is like another form of a treatment for your hair. An all natural treatment is better than the chemical treatments that you get from like a drugstore, where you constantly put that at your hair and you're not very aware of what the ingredients are inside of it. So I would recommend sticking to the most natural products you can find. Again, these things all add up to each other. You don't have to do every single thing to get hair growth. You just have to follow whatever works for you. Obviously, I'm not gonna go every single night and do the exact same thing for my hair. That's a hassle. But using a combination of these techniques will really improve your hair growth and reduce the damage to your hair in the long run. So another small thing that I do for hair growth, combing your hair out every single night runs the natural oils and your roots throughout your actual body of hair, and that promotes hair growth as well. So I make sure every single night before I go to sleep that I brush my hair, even if I'm exhausted. To take that one step further, you can put your hair in a braid or tie your hair in some sort of way that it's not constantly rubbing against your pillow. Now we're gonna get into the hair masks. I did not create these hair masks. I did not formulate any of these combinations. These are strictly combinations that have been recommended or that I've heard of over time. So the number one thing that I always do, this is one that I feel you can use as often as you'd like. So this is a coconut oil and castor oil hair mask, and this is the best. Like, when you put this in your hair and you wash your hair out, you're like running your fingers through your hair for like 45 years. Like, it's so good. What you're gonna need is half of a cup of coconut oil and a third cup of castor oil. You combine this on the stove on a low setting until they're just combined. That's all. You don't need to cook them or anything. You pour it into a glass jar because this will harden. So once it does harden, you apply that onto the roots of your hair. So you go section by section and you just apply that all over your hair, under your hair, and make sure it's all in, and then flip your hair upside down and massage it like this. And just get everywhere, because massaging your hair also really promotes hair growth. I just want to make sure that you guys are using a hexane-free castor oil, and the coconut oil should be organic and unrefined. I mean, this isn't a must. I don't think that it makes a huge difference, but this is just what I've used. This is the coconut oil that I've used, and this one is organic virgin coconut oil, and it is unrefined. Right? Yes. Unrefined and cold pressed. This is the Palma Christi castor oil from the Heritage Store, and it is hexane free, pure, and cold pressed. You leave this on your hair for about 30 minutes, And what I like to do is I actually like to put a plastic bag or something over the hair. You can do this treatment more frequently than the other treatments that I'm going to name. So I would say you can do this one even once a week. The next hair mask I'm going to tell you guys about is an egg and olive oil combination. So what you're going to need is 1 egg. I don't use organic. Use your own preference of whatever materials you want. I use organic olive oil. So you're going to need 1 egg. You're going to whip that up until it's bubbly. And then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You're going to mix that up. And you're going to add that like exactly the same way I told you guys about the first hair mask. You're going to put your hair upside down. You're going to put it all over your roots. And you're going to massage that in. Put a plastic bag on and leave it on for 30 minutes. This one, like I said, I would not recommend doing more than 2 times a month. The final hair mask I'm going to tell you guys about is an egg, honey, and castor oil treatment. So what you're going to need for this is 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of castor oil, and 1 tablespoon of the purest honey you can find. So what you're going to do is you're going to whip the egg again. You're going to add 1 tablespoon of castor oil and 1 tablespoon of honey, and you're going to mix that up. And you're going to add that into your hair. Same way as the first 2 methods. Massage it in, put a bag over it, and leave it on for 30 minutes. One crucial note that I will tell you guys is any mask that I named, the first one and the last mask, that both contain, or was it the second mask? Any mask that I told you that contains eggs, use cold water when you first wash it out because it will like cook in your hair and it will turn like scrambled. And that's really disgusting. Make sure that you use cold water or very lightly warm water just until you scrub that egg out. And then once you're sure that it's out, you can obviously go to your regular temperature water again. 2 methods that I've heard of that also like insanely promote hair growth that I just haven't tried yet. One is rice water. I haven't tried it, but I've heard amazing things. So you just put rice and some water. You let that marinate, cook overnight, and then use that water and kind of spray it in your hair, and that promotes hair growth. And the next remedy that I actually am going to try, so I'll let you guys know how this ends up, is 1 tablespoon of coconut oil with a couple drops of peppermint oil. I would say like essential oil, peppermint essential oil, not oil. And I would say like minimum drops, like 3 to 5. You could leave this one on for up to 2 hours or even overnight as a hair mask. That basically covers all the remedies that have worked for me, from the most basic things like combing your hair at night and actual remedies that helped my hair get healthy again. Look at this radiant shit. So I will post a before and after of my hair. This is all real. This hair is ancient growing. This hair grows 1 inch per decade and this works beautifully. So if you guys do try any of these methods, please let me know in the comments down below. If you guys did like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe down below, and turn on that bell to stay tuned with my video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.